friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Ashley Morris. I'm the owner and lead tutor at amtutors.com, where we specialize in live virtual one-on-one tutoring with middle school and high school math students. And in today's video, we're going to finish up talking about fractions that we're adding and subtracting and they already have a common denominator. So in part one, we did it where there were no mixed numbers in the problem. So we're going to finish up with part two now, where we do have mixed numbers in the problem. So we're still going to get a common denominator if it doesn't have it, but all these have that. Then we're going to add the whole number part. We're going to add the numerator. We're going to keep the denominator the same. And these last three parts, you can kind of do them in any order. This is the order that I like. I'm going to reduce it so my numbers are smaller. I'm going to regroup if I need to. And then most teachers want you to make it into a mixed number, and that's kind of part of regrouping. If your teacher prefers it to be an improper fraction, you're going to have to make everything an improper fraction. So just make sure your answer matches how your teacher wants it. I'm going to make sure everything is a mixed number. Okay, so I'll regroup if needed, and I'm going to keep it a mixed number. All right, so when we add or subtract these, I'm going to keep everything mixed numbers. I will tell you, some people like to make everything improper, then they add or subtract, and then they make it back into a mixed number if they need to. I'm not a fan of that. It takes a lot of steps. I'd much rather do it the way I'm going to show you. But if you want to and you want to make everything improper first and then do your work and end up with a mixed number at the end, I'm okay with that too. It's just not how I do it. So here we go. 1 2/5 plus 2 4/5. We've already got our common denominator. Cool. We're going to add the whole number part. We're going to add our numerator. Then we're going to add our denominator, or not add our denominator, leave the denominator the same. That's what I get for talking and writing at the same time. Don't do work while you're distracted. So 3 and 6/5. Normally, I'd say we're done, but if you notice, the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So we're going to regroup this one. 6/5. I'm going to rewrite that as a mixed number. So I've got that 3 still, and then 6 divided by 5. 5 goes into 6 one whole time with 1 left over. So that means that this is really 1 and 1/5. Sorry, my denominator is 5. So I'm going to kind of do the same thing again. Add the whole number part. Add the numerator. Well, that 3 doesn't have, it's 0. There's 0 over, there's nothing there. And then we just kind of rewrite the fraction part since the 3 didn't have a fraction. All right. When we're subtracting, it's kind of the same idea, but we might have to borrow. Do you remember when you were like borrowing from your 10? You had to like regroup your 10s. The same thing can happen here. So we've got 4 1/3 minus 1 2/3. And the reason I know that I'm going to have to regroup is because 1/3 minus 2/3 is not possible. 1 minus 3, we can't do that. So we're going to regroup. We're going to borrow or regroup some thirds from that 4. So the 4 is going to become a 3. So if this is a 3, that means I took out 1 from it. If I take 1 out from that, I've got a 3, I've got a 3/3, which is 1, that's where the 4 is, and then I've got a 1/3. So I'm going to group these two together and make that a 4/3. And that looks kind of funky, but we got to leave it like that until we finish our problem. The 1 2/3 is fine. Then we're going to subtract the big numbers, the whole numbers. We're going to subtract the numerators, leave the denominator alone. Done. Don't have to reduce it. We're good. Let's look at 3. So we're going to subtract our whole numbers. That's fine. 3 minus 3, I can do that. Keep the 5 the same. Ooh, that looks interesting. What is 0 divided by 5, or 0 out of 5? It's 0. So we don't need that. The answer for that one is just 1. Anytime you have a 0 on top of your fraction, the numerator is a 0, it's just 0. And then what about this one? 5 1/4 minus 2. Okay, just kind of like here how we have the 0 over 5. Some people like to write a 0 over 4 for that one. They like having that as a placeholder. So we're going to subtract the whole numbers, the 5 minus 2. We're going to do 1 minus 0. Ta-da! 3/4. Some of these might have to get reduced. Some of them might not. In this case, we got lucky. So now I want you to try these 3. So pause and try them on your own. So hopefully you took a second and you paused and now you're back to try them with me or check them. So we are going to do 3 and 2/5 minus 1 and 5. Wait, that's not right. 1 and 2/7. There we go. I copied that wrong. My bad. 2/7. So 2/7 minus 5/7. Oh no, we can't do that. We're going to regroup. So we're going to make that a 2 and then do 7/7 because that's 1. So there's 3 and 2/7. So that's going to be 2 and 9/7 minus 1 and 5/7. Now we can do it. Subtract 1 and 4/7. And we're done. Same thing here. We're going to have to regroup. That becomes a 3 and then 3/3 plus 1/3. So I'm going to make that a 3 and 4/3 minus a 2 and 2/3, which is going to be a 1 and 2/3. Done. 4.5 plus 2.5. That doesn't need any help. That can just be done. Ooh, yikes. 4 plus 2 is 6. 1 plus 1 is 2. Leave the denominator alone. 2/2 is 1. So we've got a 6 and we've got one more. 2/2 is 1. So that becomes 7. I've got one last thing I want to show you. If you are subtracting and you have something like 4 minus 1 and 1/3, that 4 does not have a fraction. We're going to have to regroup it. So we're going to regroup it as a 3 and 3/3 and then subtract. 3 minus 1 is 2. 3 minus 1 again is 2/3. So this is like a 0/3. You're still going to have to regroup for that one. So I hope that helped. If you need more practice, look in the description. There will be a link to a fraction practice worksheet with stuff just like this and from part 1. Make sure you like and subscribe. Ring the bell so you get notifications. And if there's any topic in high school math, middle school math that you want me to talk about, put it in the comments and I will try to get you a video. I hope you have a great day. Bye.